Good evening. First of all, it's absolutely distressing to come on air each time for a tragic event like this. Our heartfelt condolence to the Honorable Minister's family, and our heart goes out to that young little girl who was the co pilot of this airplane. And Captain Sumit Kapoor was a few years senior to me. He has briefly worked with us in Jet Airways as well as Air Sahara. Now, having said that, to your question of are uncontrolled airfields dangerous? Not necessarily. Uncontrolled airfields are there all over the world. And I do fly business jets into many uncontrolled airfields. However, in today's day and age, I don't understand why we do not have navigational aids that are making approaches to these kind of airports very easy. I believe today that whatever information that we have, this was a case of low visibility. When you say 3,200 meters, when you have visual flight rules, it generally requires 5 kilometers. Now, what has happened? We absolutely will not know without DFDR and ATC transcripts, the cockpit voice recorders, the ATC transcripts, and as we keep coming on the channels to tell you, sometimes it's not very nice to tell you, I told you so, particularly in tragic events. Now, this company has had another air crash a couple of years back. The report of that has not yet come out. So, what we'd like to draw your attention right now is to the scene of the accident. Did you see the visuals there? It is a picnic spot. There are policemen there who don't know what they're there for. The least they can be doing is to cordon that area off. That's complete sanitization of that area is required because that's completely filled with evidence. Now, what we see there is everybody is trampling over that and people are passing judgments on what has happened. So, like I said earlier, we do not have the requisite information to tell you how this particular airplane crashed. Was this Learjet a problem? No, Learjet 45 is a very good airplane. And it by no means is an easy airplane to fly. Let me tell you that. It was one of the fastest corporate jets built in its time. So it requires a lot of skill. And the crew had the requisite skills because about 15,000 hours and knowing the pilot in command, I don't think skill was particularly a problem. But to your question of whether uncontrolled airspaces are dangerous, not necessarily, but yes, they are a challenge. At the moment, we are not very upbeat about the agencies conducting probe. I put it to you that if Captain Amit Singh, Sanjay, and me were to come and audit your India today, what do we know about the audit of or the functioning of India today? So we will not be able to come out with a qualitative report that is actually worth being called an audit. So that is exactly a paper exercise that is being conducted in most of the accidents. And like I said, let's just take the instance of a King Air that went off the runway about 110 days back. The AAIB, which is supposed to be tasked with the investigation, has not even opened the file. So when we met the AAIB, they were so upbeat about their capabilities while they were investigating the Air India 171. We put it to you that they don't even will not even get to the preliminary stages. From the preliminary word, we also would like to draw your attention to the preliminary report which was published by AAIB. What an international joke that was. So we are not upbeat about what is going to come out of this. So what we are saying is that until such time that we come up to speed with actual air crash investigations, we need an international body, a third umpire of sorts, to come and look at this. And in the meantime, all agencies like the police be instructed that if an incident like this happens, please cordon off that area, remove the public from there, and just see to it that the place is sanitized and no evidence is lost. Only then can we come to at least a preliminary stage of investigating the accident. Normally, we should have a clear readback, but from what I'm trying to figure out and whatever messages I got from Baramati, incidentally, I did a few flights in Baramati. A friend of mine owns a flight school there. I flew a small twin engine. I'm familiar with that runway. Now, I put it to you that the visibility was not 3,200 meters because in 3,200 meters, it's more than 3 kilometers. I can see the runway. So that is again questionable. These are the factors that people in the know must be asked to contribute as far as the investigation is concerned. Now, there is, like you earlier said, there is pressure when VVIPs are there. If you recollect the CDS who passed away in a helicopter crash in Ooty, in Wellington, that aircraft was being flown by the
Sulu.
CEO of the
Yes.
squadron in Sulu. So the topmost guys do come under pressure, and we'd like to tell that there are
Right.
innumerable examples. Chief Minister Rajshekhar Reddy, Speaker Balayogi, these were all people who had in some way inadvertently put pressure on the pilot to complete the mission. This is where it had happened. You have pointed out a very pertinent fact. Yes, that pressure is there. Read back why was it not there can only be figured out once we have the ATC transcripts, because it's almost a reflex for a pilot to say clear to land so and so that he can
Right.
go ahead and do whatever he has to do. But this doesn't seem to be a 3,200 meter visibility accident.